Hey guys, Blonde Ass and or Toxic Cancer here, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about something that's not necessarily an informative video, just a little fun video. You know, sometimes we gotta all have fun. Uh, this is going to be my top 5 favorite Nat 5s. Now, I should probably get like a little spoiler alert out there. This is not my wish list or who I think the best Nat 5s are or anything about that sort. This is just like I don't even know how to describe it. It's just like my favorite Nat 5s. Like, oh, I think this unit's real. I think this unit's really cool. It's not like this is not in any way to be interpreted as a tier list or anything like that. Okay, so I guess without further and this is obviously going to be riddled with biases. For example, you guys all know I love PvP, so probably the cooler units for PvP are going to be on top. And some things like for story, like Fire Persephone, I can already tell you is not on this tier. Is not on my favorites at all. And also, I guess okay, never mind. I was gonna give that would spoil the video. You guys gotta watch the video to find out what's okay. Anyways, we're gonna move on. Number 5. Number 5. This is a little bit of a cheat, but my number 5 is actually a tie between two units, and that is gonna be Dark Odin, as well as Water Valkyrie. Now, I know you guys are saying, blah, 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 you could have Evo 3 to Water Valkyrie, but you chose your stupid Fire Arthur instead. And I know, okay? And the only reason I'm not building a Water Valkyrie is because I already have this set defense in my head on what I want to do, and unfortunately, going for a Water Valk would kind of ruin that. And as much as I love Water Valk, I can't really go for her. Obviously, you know, I don't even have a choice whether I get a Dark Odin or not. So that's not on me. Anyways, Water Valk. I'll talk about Water Valk first, and I'll talk about Odin second. Honestly, I just love the simplicity of Water Valk. Like look at this. She's an attacker. She has like just set skill. She has okay. You increase damage of 40%. Obviously, that's great for an attacker. Second thing, defense down 100% on attacker. Like while that. I talked about it with Water Garuda as well, where I said it seems a little bit counterintuitive. But on the 5-star, that 100% for a 2-turn attack down, that's pretty insane. That's like, I mean, I know there are certain other units, like, for example, Dark Victoria and Fire Arthur, that do, like, a decent job at defense downing as well. But I just find, I don't know what I find about Water Valk so, like, alluring. Maybe it's that she's actually, like, a Water Astromon, and, like, there aren't very many Water attackers besides, like, Water Loki and Water Anu now. But Water Valk just really kind of speaks to me. She's like just such a her simplicity is what like gets to me. I guess she's just like a straightforward attacker that just does her job does it very well. Let's move on to Dark Odin. Jesus Christ, this unit. Do I even need to say anything? Her look at her leader skill. 45% HP in Astromon League. Her 3-star skill is Battle Rush for 20% of own HP and SP. And her 5 stars at 80% for a 3-turn defense down. And she, okay, I mean, sure she could be like a tank type or anything, but balance isn't, at least it's not attacker, right? Like, her HP restore is going to be actually like ridiculously good. Plus her SP restore is going to be able to get like, it's a significant SP restore. It's 20%. That's like probably like 2 turns at max you're going to get your SP bar probably. Maybe 3 if you're unlucky, but I can't see you not getting 40% of your SP bar after 3 turns. And then after that, that turns into an AoE defense down where, I mean, pretty much, even in higher PvP, at least 1 is bound to hit. Like, it's not like super unlucky if 1 doesn't hit, but 1 is probably bound to hit. Like, this unit's just so good for mostly defense, but you can even use her on offense. Like, that's just her, like, usability and stuff. And even in Titans and Dragons and whatever, anything you want to use her in, she's actually pretty good because defense down is a nice ability to have, especially with that self-sustain. So she's definitely, I don't know how she's just tied with Water Valk. I tied her with Water Valk because I did like the simplicity of Water Valk, but this also shows like a more complex like design in a way, I guess, with like the restoring HP. It kind of shows like a more ideal unit in a way that doesn't do damage itself, but like has some really nice setup and won't die, so you kind of have to like focus her last, if that makes sense. Plus, you know, not saying anything, but I mean, I'm just gonna spin this character model over here. Anyways, number 4. What's number 4? Number 4 is Light Persephone. Light Persephone is pretty ridiculous. I mean, 20% morale boost for your entire team on her 3-star skill. And on top of that, 60% chance for a 2-turn shock on her 5-star skill. Holy crap. Honestly, Light Purse is ridiculous. Light Purse is so insane, especially like for PvP defense. She's not as good just because so many people use dark attackers on their defense. But just a 20% morale boost is it's ridiculous, especially on PvP offense. There's no way you don't get your SP bar first. There's absolutely zero possible chance that you don't get your SP bar first, which is insane. And even if you get it on Light Purse instead of one of your other like attackers or whatever, who cares? You get a 60% chance at a 2-turn shock. If you get a 2-turn shock on PvP offense, you win the battle. Let me tell you that much. That unit is dead. Shock is a stun and a defense down. Like, what were they think? I don't understand what they were thinking. This unit is ridiculous. Jesus Christ. Okay, now I'm just going on a rant. I want one. Can I have one? I really want one. Screw you, Beast. Anyways, that's an inside joke thing. That's an inside thing. Anyways, number 4 is actually another light unit. Oh, I went to some random tab for some reason. Light Garuda. Light Garuda. The reason I like this guy, kind of for the same reason as Light Purse, just ridiculous on PvP offense. Look at this. 80% chance for a 2-turn shock. Oh my gosh, I would love 80% chance for a 2-turn shock. And it's an attacker, and the 5-star is a Predator, which is like... Alright, you could, there's 2 ways to build this guy. That's kind of what I like. See, a lot of the times, I'm not fans of the things that are like, oh, it's an attacker and it has utility skills, right? But this kind of intrigues me because it has 1 utility and 1 damage-based skill. And I really like the design because obviously like you can go attack HP defense if you wanted to for the tankiness for the shock and just make it a shock bot. But you also have the opportunity to just make it like, I don't know, something like crit rate attack defense or something like that. And then not only does it shock on offense, but you also have the Predator. And what Predator is going to do is it's just going to allow your AoE to just like destroy everything because you're going crit rate, right? So there's like there's 2 very different builds that serve very different functions. And overall, it's just like, also, what the heck? That's so cool. Whoa, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, that's definitely number 3. That's, oh my gosh. Yeah, no, but it's just a ridiculous unit. And if that wasn't, yeah, it's like I want to actually, I haven't done this yet. I want to compare its base attack with like, let's see, that's 3600. I know Fire Siegfried has like the highest at 60. Yeah, okay, it has. I didn't actually do that, but now that I'm looking at it, those stats are also pretty insane. Like, this is definitely like a great unit. I love its versatility, and I also love, obviously, when I say versatility, I mean like in PvP, because that's like pretty much the only thing I care about. Shock isn't useful much out of that, but I find it really cool. You can go 2 different builds, and in my opinion, they're both viable as options. All right, time for number 2. You guys recognize this unit. I'll give you a hint. PvP lead skill. Oh shoot, that was the wrong tab. Boom, boom, boom. Water Nightmare. All right, you guys knew this was coming. This is the bias of me actually having the Evo 3 Water Nightmare. My Nightmare is so incredibly tanky. It's ridiculous how tanky it is actually. And I mean, what do I have to say here? 20 to 25% resistance. Obviously, you guys know how much I love resistance. Whether it's from my gem build spreadsheet, going everything on conviction for late game, or whether it's from all these resist subs that I always, or me not keeping any gems except for ones with resist subs. You guys know I love resistance. And what best counters resistance? That's right, 100% activation skills. What does Nightmare have? A 3-turn 100% activation skill. Now, this is something that I don't often discuss, but I think it's worth noting right now. The best skills in higher tier PvP are the skills that last the longest. That's why Water Sura is so good, because you don't have to land multiple skills. Obviously, like even though this is a weaker thing than a stun, it's actually more effective than like if a fire arthur than using a fire arthur, and that's because so even though like how do I explain this? Pretty much, you don't have to land it multiple times. You have to land it once, and then it's 3 turns. They're done. Like they're done. They can't do stuff for 3 turns. Whereas for a fire arthur, you'd have to land it 3 times in a row, which is a lot harder than landing it 1 time in a row. Just by definition, I mean. If you don't know that, then I don't know what to tell you. I also love that on her 5-star skill, she's a pseudo healer, I'd say. For a pretty significant amount, at least mine is like I think 7k per enemy alive. That's like 28,000 if all 4 are alive. That's a pretty significant amount. Yeah, I mean this unit's honestly just so ridiculous. Through her leader skill, Seal is just one of the most broken abilities in the game in PvP. It was meta changing. I don't know if you guys knew the meta before this, but Seal changed that. It was all defense aggressors. Seal changed that. Not for some people. Some people still just run a bunch of defense aggressors, and I mean props to them. But yeah, Water Nightmare just so ridiculous. I mean, how could I not put her on? You guys all knew that Water Nightmare was coming. Now, something that you guys might not have thought was coming, just because I don't really use it much, and I kind of talk shit on it a lot, but that's only because I love it so much and I really want it to be even better than it is. Alright, going to this tab, you guys know, it's Wood Arthur. Wood Arthur, my very first Evo 3 Nat 5. I have pulled 4 Wood Arthurs, actually, and 1 water and 1 fire. About to get another fire. Yeah, so I have 2 Wood Arthurs just left over. I have my Evo 3 Wood Arthur. Oh, man. I love this guy so much. He's carried me through so much of this, just based on his leader skill. 45% HP in dungeons. That helps so much for dragons. That helps so much for golems. That helps so much for so many things. I love his self-sustain. It's greatly restored. As much damage as I do, I've healed over 100k against water purses. I just defense down it with my water shelly or my wood leo or whatever. I've healed 100k. This guy, mine doesn't even have 100k. Mine has like, let's actually see how much health does mine. Yeah, my guy has 36,000 HP. It's healing for 3 times its HP, and on top of that, when I land my stun, 60% chance stun for 2 turns. Yes, that's a low proc rate, and yes, things are gonna have resist in higher arena. But if I land it on 2 or more enemies, the game is usually just automatically over. Depending on, obviously, if I can, like... Well, I mean, it kind of depends. Obviously, it's not, like, 100% over, but... I don't know. I don't know what else to say. It's a great ability if it can land on, like, a couple guys. Yeah, but this unit, I just have so much nostalgia and history with Wood Arthur that there's no way I could just not put it on my list. I love this thing. It's so nice. Obviously, it's not as versatile as something, as I was saying, why I like the Light Garuda, but... man, it's just honestly, it's just the nostalgia and stuff. I love this guy. He's carried me through he's carried me through everything that I've done. Anyways, guys, that wraps up this. I'm going to be doing Nat 4s, my 5 favorite Nat 4s, and my 5 favorite Nat 3s, which will be a lot harder since there's a lot more of them. But I'll do my best. I honestly might forget about some stuff, and that would be kind of awkward if I forget about some units. But I'll do my best to like do all my research and everything, just to make sure I make a great list for myself. But I don't know if you guys will like this. This is just something I kind of wanted to do, just to like maybe even like later when more Nat 5s and stuff come out, just look back on the list and be like, wow, that unit kind of sucks now. I hate that unit, or something like that. But anyways, that's all for today. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.